the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, a Megami Tensei podcast. I am Rasen,
I'm Katsu.
and I am currently in my basement. I'm not in the comfort of my own room because people are painting upstairs. So if you hear pipes or random crap, that's probably why I'm not being invaded.
You're not in the Mushroom Kingdom.
No, yeah. There's Koopas right next to me. I don't know if I should jump over them or throw fireballs at them. It's a tough
Mm,
decision. So yeah, we've had a lot of news the past couple of
yeah,
episodes. So we decided we just have kind of like a chill, slightly off topic, casual episode. Just talk about whatever the fuck we want. No
yeah.
restrictions. It's like spring break. Are you on spring break yet? Or close to?
No,
Neither am I. My spring break doesn't
sadly.
start for a few weeks. Everyone else seems to be though, so good for them. Uh, so yeah, a few things on Cathedral of Shadows side of stuff that we want to talk about. First, just keep studying for that quiz. I still haven't figured
Yes.
out a schedule for that, but you should just listen to every episode as you go to bed at night, all of them.
Yeah, and take notes.
Have fun going through the 30 hours of audio. I think
Yeah.
we're around that point. Oh man, you know this is something I've actually thought of. I think it around up after episode 25, I'm gonna make a second playlist because I looked at the playlist recently for the just like the COS playlist with all the episodes and related stuff. And it's kind of big now. Like it's not a pain in the ass to scroll through yet, but it eventually will be. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe every 25 episodes we'll just change seasons.
Yeah.
So
Season 2.
people stay tuned for Cathedral of Shadows Part 2 podcast tendency. Uh,
Yes.
I'm not sure what to name season 1 yet, but I really want got to name Part 2 podcast tendency. Um
Season 1 is podcast blood.
But see, yeah, because I don't know if I want to do JoJo's for every, like a JoJo's parody for every part yet. I'll need to figure that out. Podcast Blood is a great name though. Um, oh man. So what else? Oh yeah. So recently I just posted a video, and by recently I mean like a fucking hour ago before I ran to the pharmacy. Um, Basically what it's for is that Shin Megami Tensei Let's Play thing. I decided I don't think we're going to record the actual audio for a little while, but I might
Yeah.
as well get a head start on recording gameplay footage. I started playing it, then I'm like, shit, never thought about character names. So what I thought would be fun is I talked to Velvet Blue and I'm like, you're our token female Let's Player. You want to be the heroine? And she's like, sure. So then I'm like, that leaves four of us males with three male party members to name after. So I'm
Yes.
like, I'll let the fans decide, right? So I created three separate polls. Actually, I'm just gonna link to a video with a link to the polls. Um, it's just kind of a brief explanation of what's going on, and then links in the description for all of the characters you can name and stuff. So that'll be fun. Actually, let's look at the results right now. How about um, currently, currently I'm in a pretty solid lead for the protagonist with 11 votes. Katsu, you're runner up for protagonist with 3 votes, and then someone voted for Sparky. Sparky has one fan for
Yes.
protagonist. Um, oh geez, Law Hero is interesting. Um, right now it's a tie between Katsu and Sparky, 5 votes each. Solid Abyss is third with 4 votes, and then someone voted for me for Law Hero for some reason, um, which I find hilarious. And then Chaos Hero. Oh geez, Chaos Hero. This is pretty heavily in your favor. Katsu has 8 votes. 8 votes for that. Sparky has 4 votes. I have 2 votes. So
Katsu for Chaos Hero. Go, go, go.
it, I thought it was funny though because it took forever. Because like I'm like, you know what, I had a feeling a lot of people were just going to say Rasen protagonist, and then I put up the poll. I came back from the pharmacy or whatever, straight up like 5 votes or so already in my favor. I'm like, oh, figured that.
Oh.
So yeah, every one vote you have like a week. I don't remember when I set the cutoff, but I think it's like next week Friday as of this recording. So go vote.
Vote Katsu for Chaos Hero.
You're influencing the polls, damn it. Yeah,
Okay.
do whatever. Um, all right. So moving on. I saw on Twitter that you started Digital Devil Saga up again.
Yeah. And I tried to do a completely fresh new file with none of my stuff, and turned out surprisingly really dull. I couldn't take it. I was so weak, and I just wanted to one-shot everything.
Wanted all your
And
stuff back.
yeah, I wanted all my stuff back. I wanted my team back. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna do a new game plus off my older file that I haven't even touched since 2010.
That's understandable.
Yes.
Man, like I can see that, especially from something like Shin Megami Tensei, where you end the game with such a powerful party, and then you start a new game up, and you're dying left and right. I can see that being very annoying.
Yes.
So, how many playthroughs of DDS 1 and 2 have you gone through?
I have no idea.
Has it,
I do have a couple hundred hours in both
ah,
games though.
that's nothing to
I just don't
shake a
know how
stick
many
at.
playthroughs I've done.
So it's like this weird mess of hours played versus playthroughs that no one will ever be able to figure out.
Yeah.
Understandable. I still need to play through the game. I really want to play through that game before Quantum Devil Saga Volume 1 comes out. I feel obligated to, I guess I should say. Um, I don't know. Those games are fun.
Yes, they are. They're fun as long as you have everything, I should say.
Oh man, I guess on my side I've been messing around with a little bit with Persona 4 Arena. um,
Yeah, you in that goddamn game.
I I thought I should get good at the game before Suplex comes out, or at least try my hardest to get good. So I first my train of thought is I'm gonna get back into this, and what I'm gonna do is, since I completely suck at Arxis games, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go straight up, change my main from Mitsuru, who I was able to do some damage with, but like I'm talking scrub damage, like auto combo shit, because her range is so fucking crazy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to play legit, learn some actual combos and strategies and footsie games and crap, and I'm gonna go with Narukami, and then I was playing in a lobby with a few people from DDSnet, including Crisis of Fate, who I play a lot of Marvel with, and I randomly picked Teddy on a whim. Never used him before. Never ever really cared to try him out in training mode or anything, and he was a lot of fun to play as, so I think I'm going to use him as my main.
Yeah, you have fun with that. I'm just gonna stick to using Junpei and Suplex.
Oh man, I kind of want to try out Show, like Persona-less Show. He looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to use Persona-less Show.
Is it true that he doesn't have an instant kill? I heard that. I know he doesn't have a persona, obviously, but I heard he
Yeah,
also.
he doesn't have an instant kill. It's not like instant kills are viable anyway,
That's true.
except Shadow Labrys's.
Well, isn't that the only one you can really combo into?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Um, Man, instant kills are fun just because if you pull them off, you feel great. um,
And if you get blown up because you failed them, you feel like garbage.
the only time I ever rage quit in a fighting game, and this wasn't a nice moment for me. I think it was like the first day I had Persona 4 Arena. I was playing against a really fucking good Teddy, and he hit me with his instant kill, and I just straight up like, nope, turned off the PS3 and then went and did something else. I was so salty. Not a very good moment in my life. Felt bad. Um, hopefully I'll be returning the favor though to some random shitlord that decides to buy the game, and then I just poop on him with Teddy. Something else I really like with Teddy is his he has this one move where Well, I guess just in the air in general, if you hit A, he does this like little kicky thing that has an
Yeah.
insane hitbox for what it is. And I love it. So he's a lot of fun. Oh
Yeah, he
man.
doesn't have any. He doesn't have any overheads though, except
Oh
his
shit,
online
really?
attack. Yeah, he doesn't have any overheads.
Like even his jumping attacks, are they not overheads?
I don't think so.
Damn.
It's just well, it's not like you really need it because Teddy's still a strong character. He's S tier.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Isn't like top tier in that game divided between Mitsuru, Chie, and Narukami?
well, it depends on like top tier in Persona 4 Arena is who can knock you down and who can like do Oki off of you. So those characters who can do that really well are S tier, and those who can't are everywhere else.
The thing that I'm having a lot of trouble with, I guess, is I had a really odd introduction to fighting games, I'd say, because I started with Marvel, and that was like the first one I really took seriously. And Marvel is not very approachable for a lot of people, especially nowadays with the metagame being so crazy that you need to memorize a shit ton of setups and situations just to have any chance of even winning. Um, and like for someone like me that has seen enough of the competitive play to understand why I lost a match or understand what I did wrong in a match, uh,
Yeah,
I don't feel bad when I lose anymore in Marvel usually, unless I get like chipped out or something bullshit like that. Like I can see, oh hey, I should have done this differently, or oh this guy just did this and that's why he took the match or whatever. Persona 4 Arena is a situation where I have no idea what the hell's going on half the time, especially when I'm stuck in the corner. And it's like, okay, I lost, but I don't know why I lost. So
you should save all of your matches, and then once you're on offline, you could just view your matches, and then you can see what you did wrong.
I actually have been thinking about doing that. I also really want to watch more competitive play again. Like I rewatched Evo Top 8 and I picked up a few things from that. Just I kind of want to submerge myself within the competitive scene for that game just so I can understand situations and stuff better.
Yeah, like when I was first starting out with Persona 4 Arena, I started just saving all of my matches and see what I was doing wrong, and then eventually I got decent. I wouldn't say good, I say decent.
You know what? I just realized I haven't used your site at all for getting better at the game. I should probably do that. I'm assuming your site is a
Yes,
good resource. I trust you enough.
yes.
um, oh man, what? Oh yeah, something else I wanted to bring up with Persona 4 Arena is that it's very odd. Well, I guess this is something I've run into with Arxis games at all. Every time like I try learning like a B and B or a combo or something for characters, something I'm not used to just within this game as a whole, because I've played a little bit of Street Fighter. I've played a lot of Marvel. I guess you could say I was kind of okay at Injustice for when I played that. It seems like in every game that isn't an Arxis game, there's a lot of combos that will work in any situation, no matter where you are on the screen. It's very rare for you to have a situational combo. Every time I look up combos in an Arxis fighter, it's always like do this if you're in the corner, do this if you want to push your
Yeah,
enemy into the corner. It's like shit, I can't just autopilot. I need to think about the situation before I do the combo, and that really is hard for me to pick up.
yeah, you really need to think before you act, and
Especially with bursting, like that adds a whole
yeah,
new level to combo stuff. Because in Marvel, it's like you do the combo, they're dead or they're alive. You just kind of you can stop thinking. In Arxis games, you need to always be thinking, and that really gets me.
as soon as you stop thinking, you lose.
Yeah, and that's hard for me because like whenever I'm doing an Akuma combo in Marvel, it's like okay, I can reassess the situation. I can take the time to look at meter to like look at life and stuff like that. In an Arxis game, it's like, oh shit, I'm doing a combo. I need to make sure he doesn't burst, and if he does, what the fuck do I do? Or like I need to think about the characters more so than the situation. So that's
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of stuff like burst baits and grab resets and all this other crazy stuff that you can do when you're on the offensive.
Persona 4 Arena continues to also be fighting game I get the most amount of hate mail in.
Yeah, because it's full of people who never played fighting games before.
Well, I know, but when I first started the game and was just a crappy Mitsuru, I'd get a lot of hate mail from people that were better than me, and now it seems like I'm only getting it from people that suck at the game, and they're mad because I slid through their Elizabeth Beam spam with my Narukami slide. So I don't know. A lot of people are really angry about that game.
Yeah, it invokes a lot of rage.
I
But
I can
hey,
get that. I can kind of get that.
yeah, because like I said, a whole bunch of people haven't played fighting games before. It's their first fighter. They don't know what to do. So when someone better than them wins, they get upset instead of learning what they did wrong.
Like even in Marvel, I'll get the occasional guy that teabags my body or whatever after match loss or whatever, but I never get full on like you should kill yourself. You're a terrible person. Blah blah blah. You use Narukami. That means you don't actually take the game seriously. It's like, whoa, calm down. We're just playing fighting games. So
I'm just playing a game.
I know, like people get really salty. Actually, one thing, speaking of salty, my custom title on that game is Salty Devil Summoner. I wish more games did the custom title thingy like that game does, because those
Yes.
are hilarious.
I can't even remember what my title was. It was something about Miss Toriumi.
Oh man. Uh, I don't know if these are tags, but I really want to have the custom title Badass Mother Fuka, because that would just be great.
I think those are tags, but I can't. I'm not entirely sure.
I really want that as my custom title whenever I unlock those. How do you unlock those again? Is it based
You
off your
just
level or your
you just
character?
play. You just play matches and then they'll unlock themselves, but it's completely random.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, so enough Persona 4 Arena talk. I guess there is something else that I guess is kind of been happening in my SMT world. So this semester, I don't know if I've talked about this. I think I've referenced it a few times. I'm taking a modern Japan history class just for the credit. Um, and actually, it's funny because I didn't take it because I'm a weeaboo. I took it because it was either a choice between that and religious violence and how that affects children or some class like that. I'm like, that sounds like a bummer. Better take the modern Japan class. And it's really odd because well, first of all, there's a lot of fucking weebs in there. I should throw that throw that out there. But it's really odd because you have this whole, I guess, this country you absorb a lot of media from, or like you kind of know about through cultural osmosis, but to learn the actual history and cultural values and how they evolved and stuff is actually pretty interesting because it's like you have pieces of the full picture from just the stuff you've watched and learned about their culture through the internet and stuff. But then to
Yeah.
get the full like historical perspective is pretty interesting. And actually, one thing I really thought about uh, when I was studying for my last exam was the idea of various religions and philosophies and how they interacted with the Japanese people. There's a lot of bad blood between Christian missionaries and the Japanese government for quite a long time there. And I guess just outside influences as a whole, Japan seems to have a lot of issues with that throughout its history, where there's a lot of these philosophies or ideologies or whatever coming in that the government really doesn't want to be there because it just keeps causing problems and they keep being shot down. So I can kind of get where SMT is coming from with the idea that you should reject ideologies and they're all just trying to brainwash you and you should just accept what you believe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a good class though. I really enjoy it. A lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
Actually, I shouldn't even say that. It's pretty dry also because the professor doesn't believe in PowerPoints. He straight up told us that he doesn't believe they're a good educational tool. So it's literally just him talking to us for 3 hours every Tuesday night. Except for last Tuesday night, which is hilarious. He let us out an hour early because he needed to return a movie from the video rental place down the block.
Not
So,
bad. So who's in that class?
like, do you mean just like types of people?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd say there's four different types of people. The first is uh the weeaboos, which I guess are the most interesting. There's literally
The
this
weebs.
there's this group of 3 people that just talk about Cowboy Bebop before class starts. That are always there. Actually, I think one of them is doing their because we need to do a research paper. And that's kind of our final. Um, this one guy's just doing his research paper straight up on fucking anime.
Oh,
So
not bad.
yeah, I thought like it
Anime.
was funny because the professor like actually brought that up. He's like, "How many of you are here just because you like anime or video games?" And like a couple people raised their hands. He's like, "If that's the only reason you're in here, get out." like he seemed to have some experience in that regard, and he seemed to not be very happy about it. So I thought that was funny, just on my professor's part. Actually, my professor for that class actually lived in Osaka for a couple years. He said it was a pretty cool place. Um,
It was a pretty cool place.
yeah, he made it sound really interesting, just the way he described it. Um, what else? Oh yeah, so other types of people in there. There's the history majors that are taking it because it's a history class. There's the people that are taking it because they need to try to, which is me, because I need a history credit. And then there's actual Japanese people that are like, oh yeah, I want to learn more about my background and stuff. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Have
not
that
bad.
cultural identity like that and want to learn more. So yeah, that's kind of the distribution of that class. There's a few cool people in there. Actually, there's a guy who is in one of my programming classes that's in there. We always chill and that. So
Chill out, Max. Relax. All cool.
yep, shooting b-ball outside of the school.
Not bad.
Actually, it's pretty funny. I posted a picture on Twitter a little while ago. They have really poor lights in their parking lot outside of that building where the class is in. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I'm gonna get straight up shanked every time I walk out of the door to my car because it's so it well like it, okay, so this one building, right? So this is the building where all like the history stuff is. It's fucking in the middle of the woods pretty much. Like you need to literally drive down this like lonely road to get to it, and there's only one road in and out, right? So
Yeah.
everything else is like covered in woods, and like you can kind of hear the river flowing a little bit away from it. And like
Someone could just stab you and just dump your body in a little river and no one
yeah,
would notice.
because their lights there are shit. Like I don't know if they need to replace the bulbs or this figure out what the hell's going on with the circuitry, but it's literally like someone has like dead flashlights hanging from strings from the sky shining down the parking lot. Like I legit have there's been a couple times where I straight up brought out my phone, used it as a flashlight so I can get to my damn car because I couldn't see it. It's ridiculous. Um, so yeah, that's been my educational life for a little while. Um,
So, I like
but
to add. I like to add something.
all right,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know. It's just completely unrelated. I guess we could just change the. I guess we could just use it to change the subject.
All right.
So recently, I beat a game called Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Do you mean Dang it, Ron Paul?
Yeah, Daggett Paul. And yeah, you all need to play that game. It's amazing.
Yes, Link Guys did an episode on that recently, which I listened to, even though it's like straight up spoilers. I don't remember any of the plot or what they really said because I didn't understand it, but it sounds really good. I know the Retsupre guys really like it. Those dudes from Something Awful. I've heard nothing but good shit about that game. So I actually have a save file that it's near the beginning. Like I don't even think I got to the first like case or whatever you want to call it. Of
Yeah,
like that's of the fan translated PSP version though. I don't know if like the Vita version has a lot different or not, but
it's not that different. It just has a new mode that you can do after the main story is over called School Mode, which is essentially like it's kind of like part strategy, part dating sim, mostly dating. And then after you, I told you about this on Skype, where like after you get like each character's individual ending, you get their underwear, and it
the
comes with a
best
very
mode.
witty description. It comes with a very witty description. Like this one character's underwear, like the description of them says, "This underwear does not protect against spears." For those who get that reference, good job.
I'm assuming that's something to do with their death, but okay. Um, that sounds horrible. Um, yeah, I should get to playing that. How long is that game?
It's about like 30 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I think they're localizing the sequel, right?
Yeah, they are. It's coming out this fall.
Oh man, that
Dang it, Ron Paul 2. Goodbye Despair.
is that. I always forget. Is that by the same people that made 999 and Virtue's Last Reward?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought. See, I've been meaning to play both of those too. I haven't.
those are really great games too.
Like, I think actually I might just play 999 in emulator and then buy Virtue's Last Reward off the eShop. I actually heard the physical versions of Virtue's Last Reward on 3DS has like some save bug or something that they fixed in the
Oh, that's
digital version.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so that
That's
sucks.
unfortunate. Yes. But
Um,
yeah, like Danganronpa 2 is also very good. I'm on chapter 3 in the Japanese version, but that's where I'm going to stop because I'll play the rest of it in English. The characters of Danganronpa 2 were much more likable than the first cast. All of them are like, there's nothing but waifus and husbandos in that game.
man, if only I had a Vita so I could play the official versions, but I'll stick to my PSP fan translated version of 1 for now. Hopefully the PSP version of 2 gets fan translated, but I kind of doubt it at this
It's not
point.
getting, yeah, it's not. They dropped the translation once Miss America announced the localization.
I can respect that. That's understandable. Oh
Yeah.
man, I guess there's the Something Awful Let's Play of 2 that I could just experience the game that
That
way.
There's a bunch of other Let's Plays on YouTube.
Sir Lionheart, who we've had on the show before, is working his way through or has completed. I'm not sure yet, and I
Yeah,
haven't.
he's completed already. He's in school mode now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he has a Let's Play of it and keeps spamming my sub box. I haven't watched any of it yet though, so I kind
You
of
need to
like.
watch. It's awesome.
It's kind of a thing though, where with a game like that, I would rather experience it myself first and then watch a Let's Play of it
Yeah.
because, like, I don't know, I feel like because isn't that game supposed to kind of like fuck with your head, like just kind of betray your
Yeah.
expectations at every turn?
Its mind screws you in every corner. People
Okay.
who you think aren't going to die end up dying, and people who you think aren't going to murder someone end up murdering someone. It's insane.
See, okay, that's what interests me because I've just heard by everyone that the story is so amazing, and that's something I would rather just experience for myself and then watch someone experience it. So
Yeah.
I
Danganronpa 2 has Danganronpa 2 even has it worse because nobody really looks like a murderer. No one looks Yeah, no one really looks like they kill someone, but then bam, they kill someone.
oh man, I should get on that at some point. What else do we want to
Yes.
talk about before we transition into emails?
Um. Hmm.
Anything you want to?
Have you heard about how? Have you heard about how Titanfall is going to be 792p on the Xbox One?
What? Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, it's official. It's 792p on the Xbox One
I heard they aren't releasing
and
it in South
1080.
Africa. Did you hear about that?
They aren't.
No,
Why?
I think they said like the lack of interest or something. So GG South Africa. I'm not sure if that's legit, but I saw on Twitter like a retweet of like a news article like Titanfall not coming to South Africa due to lack of interest or something weird like that. So
Oh, just Titanfall. I thought you meant like the console itself.
oh no. From what I heard, isn't the Xbox One still like only out in like 13 countries or some shit?
Yeah.
Some
It's still
ridiculous.
not out. It's still not out in Japan yet. It's still not out. And I think it's out in Singapore. I'm not sure.
I think Microsoft at this point is like, well, let's just focus on the countries we know that people actually buy our stuff from. Like, no one in Japan's gonna buy an
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Unless like
Tales of Vesperia 2
Namco
comes out
releases
on
a
it.
yeah, yeah. Unless Tales of Vesperia 2 comes out on the Xbox One, nobody in Japan is getting that system.
I still remain like I still hold that the only reason anyone in Japan owns a 360 is because of Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah, Tales of Vesperia was the reason the Xbox 360 sold out in Japan during that time. It's like,
maybe
oh my god, yes, 60, but they're all sold out.
maybe like Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey or some like random game like that, but who
I
knows?
heard that there's a rumor that Lost Odyssey 2 is in development for the Xbox One.
Didn't
So
didn't no one like one?
I heard people, a whole bunch of people like Lost Odyssey 1.
Oh, I heard bad things. Um, man, I guess Xbox One is I don't know. The Xbox One just doesn't appeal to me. The only thing on it that looks good in my eyes is Killer Instinct, and even then, I don't think the tournament scene for that game is gonna last very long.
Yeah, it's kind of already showing signs of decline.
What I think is interesting though is a lot of people, a lot of people were really hyped for Injustice because they're like, man, the developers are gonna like continually patch it whenever issues come up, and the Killer Instinct guys have been doing that, and both Injustice and Killer Instinct have not been very competitively big, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
I guess Killer
probably since
Instinct
they're
is not
it
big.
has a lot of have everything to do with the fact that there's still like new IPs and all that stuff, and there's a bunch of other fighting games out. The same issue won't apply to Guilty Gear since that's not a new IP and it's a very well-renowned fighting games franchise.
Man, Exer looks so good.
I know it does.
I watched an hour and a half of uncommentated tournament play, and I was completely entertained. Like I'm like, holy shit, this game. First of all, it looks fucking amazing. I'm not sure if the arcade build is going to be more close to the PS3 or PS4 version.
Oh yeah, like the arcade build is going to be the exact same build that we're going to get for the PS4. Well, graphically wise,
Okay, because that looks beautiful. That
yeah,
is
it does.
amazing. Because I don't think we have any like 2D AAA PS4 games yet. I
Yeah,
think this will actually be the first, and it's showing how amazing sprite work. Well, I guess actually no, it's not even sprite work. Technically,
yeah, it's not sprites
it's the
anymore.
CGI model. So damn it, I'm wrong. But it looks like it's two dimensional, and that's what counts. Um,
Yeah,
but holy shit, that game looks so amazing though. It looks so good.
it looks really good. As soon as that thing comes out on PS4, it's over. Like that's the killer app for the fighting game community. Everyone's ready for Guilty
That's
Gear.
gonna be the thing everyone buys a stick for. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't Guilty Gear only 4 buttons, or is it 6?
It's 6.
All right. Yeah, then people would definitely buy sticks for that. I can play 4 button fighters fine on pad. Actually, I'm starting to find like Injustice. Injustice is weird because it's kind of like a 7 button fighter. It's
Really?
yeah, like when you add in like the meter burn button, like I don't know, there's one random button that you kind of need. um, I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head because I haven't put it in forever. But yeah, I think it's the meter burn button. And playing on arcade stick is just really awkward, so I've settled on playing pad whenever I play Injustice now. Um, cause honestly though, what it comes down to is whenever you need to pull off like an EX move, you just hit like I think it's LT whenever you do the input, and it just
Yeah,
automatically becomes EX for you, and it's pretty nifty.
not bad. I think the only 5 button fighting game I've ever played was Arcana Heart 3. I can't remember any other 5 button games.
All right, I think we should move on to emails.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, so this is from uh, Eriko and Naoto Lover is their name on YouTube, so I'll just call him Eriko and Naoto Lover. Um, all right, he asks first he'd like to apologize for his last email. He accidentally pressed enter before writing a message. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I think he sent a thing that I just deleted because it was like incomplete halfway through. So no problems, dude. He says his first question is, do you think that the Persona series should bring back the Persona rank system and the ability to use both melee weapons slash bows and guns? I
hmm.
think by Persona rank he means like the multiple personas, right? I'm assuming.
No, he's talking about the rank up thing that they have in I don't know about Persona 1, but in Persona 2, whenever you use your persona, it'll have a chance of ranking up and learning new abilities and all that stuff. It's kind of similar to leveling up in Persona 3 and 4.
Okay, that I didn't know that actually had a name to it. Um, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think like I think the
It
system
feels
they have
like
now.
a step backwards, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I like the system they have now. It's simple enough and it works. The only thing I really think they need to change is like the fusion system, make it more like
Yeah.
SMT4s. Like one more, and just the way they have combat in general right now seems to be pretty solid. And also the ability to bring back, uh,
Bows and guns.
yeah,
Well, what about Yukari and Naoto? They Yukari wields a bow and Naoto wields a gun. But
I,
seriously, they probably it all depends on what Persona 5 is going to be all about. If it calls for bows and guns, then yeah.
I would be excited just because I like that in combat where you have the choice between two different like it kind of improves physical attacks in my mind because you kind of have the
Yeah.
separate. Well, I guess I should say this: the way it is now, for your main character to deal damage that isn't related to their main weapon, they'd have to use a persona skill. What having a gun would do is it would pretty much give you a pierce attack at all times, without having to rely on a persona or using up any SP or HP or whatever. So I kind of like that, but I don't know.
At the same time, they kind of got rid of Pierce and Persona 4. They got rid of Pierce and Strike. It's just attack.
Oh yeah, that's true. Um, I always forget that. um, I don't know. It, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'd kind of be hyped because they could do a lot of cool stuff gameplay wise, like with status effect bullets and stuff, like SMT4 kind of did.
Yeah. Just
Or
status effect, like inflict somebody with shock, and then just have all your party members attack and get criticals.
insta kill bullets are amazing too. I always love using those on mobs because you shoot them once and the entire mob goes away. um,
Yeah.
then he says, his next question is, do you think that Atlus and Sega will ever make another joint published game like they did for the remake of Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon? Technically, isn't everything they do joint published now? A little bit.
I guess.
Yeah, like I think just with the situation as a whole, I think everything they do is kind of joint published. If you mean like make a game together using like a Sega IP, Sega has said before that they'd be fine if Atlas wanted to do anything with um, some of their
Yeah.
IPs. So possible in the future.
Possible.
Yeah,
Whenever Atlas just has like a team that's doing nothing, it just be like, hey, work on this game.
yeah. Um, so Crisis of Fate asks, well, he says, "What's up, guys? Sorry for not being able to fap. My neighbor would have killed me if I had woken him up, and whispering would have been awkward. No problem." And then he says, "All right, here are the questions he had planned for the fap, but he'll just ask an email form instead." Uh, he says the first question is really tough, and he'd personally understand if we would skip it. Um, but anyways, he says, "What are our thoughts on the inclusion of homosexual characters in Persona 5 and/or homosexual relationships?" Then he says, personally, he wouldn't mind a homosexual character as long as they're done well, which I sadly can't see happening, given Atlas's. Oh wait, no, he just says he said. Hold on, let me start over. He says, personally, he wouldn't mind a homosexual character as long as they're done well, which he sadly can't see happening. He would probably be cliched, or they would probably be cliched as hell, though Persona shouldn't have issues with this. Then he says homosexual relationships are probably a bad choice since the amount of homosexual people who play MegaTen is extremely low. In his opinion, it's fine if people disagree. He says he doesn't want to see races, religion, and sexuality to be represented just for the sake of it. I think kind of what he's getting at there is they shouldn't make characters based on like,
What the general audience like? Not the general audience,
or
but
like the
like
demographics. Like they shouldn't.
the demographic.
Yeah, like they shouldn't make a character like, oh hey, we need a black female that's crippled. Okay, got that one done. Like we need a Canadian homosexual character. Got that one done. You know what I mean? So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what he's aiming for. I kind of agree. Like I don't necessarily agree. I think there's tons of homosexual people that play Megami Tensei. I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
bunch of them. Like I'm sure a lot of our listeners are homosexual. Um, I
They kind of like in the case of Kanji, they did Kanji really well, but they left his sexuality ambiguous. Troy Baker, his voice actor, thinks Kanji's gay. And I think his Japanese voice actor Tomokazu Seki thinks he's not. So it's kind of like leave it up to you.
Yeah, Naoto kind of is a mixed bag of reactions because there's a lot of people that think Naoto was handled poorly, and there's a lot of people that think Naoto was handled pretty good. I don't know. Um, there's definitely like a few points in those games where I think they send kind of mixed messages about
Yeah.
sexuality. Overall, I think the fact that those characters are even in there is a sign of progress, even if some of the messaging behind it is a little iffy. Um,
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do because of like in Japanese culture, the only way to be it's like especially during around 2008 when Persona 4 came out. If you were a homosexual in Japan, you were either going to be looked down upon or you were either going to be accepted because you were funny. And a lot of like anime and media around that time, any homosexual that was involved in that were depicted as like the comic relief guy or just
yeah,
really flamboyantly gay.
that's pretty fucked up.
You can there was no middle ground.
Yeah, which is pretty. I don't know that like. Hopefully, stuff gets better with that as time progresses because I think everyone listening and both of us agree that everyone should have equal rights in terms of sexuality and stuff like that. So hopefully,
Yeah.
media will eventually get to a point where none of this is even an issue. But I do agree that you shouldn't have a character that's like you shouldn't have a character that's like gay just for the sake of having a gay character, or you shouldn't have a character that's transsexual just for the sake of having a transsexual character. You should make the characters, and then if that fits what that character is, you should make them like that. Like you shouldn't base characters around criteria. You should make the characters and then just have that be part of their character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully, like I'd be totally down if they do have characters of alternate sexualities in Persona 5. I mean, I kind of hope they do, just because 4 kind of had some,
Touched upon it. Yeah, touched upon it with Kanji
and
and Naoto and all that.
a lot of people really praised the game for that too. So I think it'd be kind of cool
Yeah.
if they kind of went back to that messaging and I guess touched upon it again in Persona 5. Um, I,
Especially considering the theme of Persona 5, it would work perfectly.
Actually, yeah, that's true. That would hell even more so than in Persona 4, like because
Yeah.
I guess Persona 4 the way they dealt with it is those characters accepted their self for who they were, and I I think what Persona 5 would do if they had a character that was struggling with their sexuality is they'd probably have it be a situation where they're discriminated against and they need to deal with that and learn to tell those people to fuck off and or just support their self and decide that just because society says that I'm wrong for liking dudes or for deciding my sexual preferences that I'm still okay. I am a person. I am who I am. Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but like they can go a million different ways with it. Because I mean, a lot of games are just afraid to touch on sexuality in general, and I think that's kind of
Yeah.
sad because
It's kind of sad. It's especially like the bigger companies that do it because they're in the eyes of the general public, so it's harder for them to get away with it.
yeah,
Whereas is a lot smaller, and the general public doesn't have their eyes on them. They can do pretty much whatever they want.
which is good because as much as people don't want to admit it, media does have effects on people and their perceptions on life. So the more games we have that support alternate takes on sexuality and kind of break down that conservative viewpoint of stuff, the better, in my opinion.
The better.
Yeah,
Yes.
people respect everyone, um, no matter if they're even if you don't agree with them, respect everyone. Anyway, second question is probably a little less heavy than the last one. Is there something that would make you completely drop the Tensei franchise? He says, if Atlas were to announce something so awful to the point where you leave the fan base and everything involving it altogether, he asks this question because there is a certain former Game FAQs MegaTen fan who had a huge drama fit about SMT4 having DLC. I know who he's talking about. The dude he's talking about is Metal Loki, and oh my god, he went out of his way to complain about SMT4 DLC like everywhere, and he's like, I am completely done with the franchise now. Like, I think he even said he doesn't even want to play the past games
Oh
anymore.
my god. There's this guy on the God Eater 2 boards, well, just God Eater boards in general, who hates God Eater 2 so much that he's just like this franchise is dead. GG, it's over. Just because they changed up they changed the sequel to match what the fans wanted. They were like the devs went out of their way to ask fans, "Hey, what do you want in this sequel? We want to make it so that you guys like we want to make it so that it'll be a game for everyone to enjoy." And he was just like, "No." He was just like, "No, fuck that game. The prequel's way better. Oh my god." And
Game
it's just
FAQs
annoying.
is
He's
a
like, it's not even a true sequel. It's like God Eater 1.5.
Game FAQs is a wonderful place full of
Yeah, it
idiots.
is.
Um, anyways, on to the question: is there anything that would make us drop Megami Tensei completely? Um,
Let's see.
I don't think like an
If
announcement would. Like,
Yeah, an announcement wouldn't. It'll be like
if they
it'll have
actually
to be a
release
gradual
something.
thing. It'd have to be a gradual thing.
Yeah, I
Like
agree. Like,
maybe when they get a lot of money and they just start making really bad decisions, or maybe like the controversy in SNT becomes public and they have to completely change everything.
they have
So
to
people
water it
wouldn't.
down.
Yeah, they have to water down everything.
Yeah, like there's a lot of potential for Megami because someone pointed this out to me once. I think this is around the time where we talked about the death of Megami Tensei episode or whatever. Like, Atlas is
Yeah.
in a position where one or two bad projects could actually lead them to financial trouble. I guess not so much anymore now that Sega has their back, but like they definitely need to appeal to the fans and what they want. So like it would take a lot of bad decision making for them to get into a place where I'd be like, fuck it, I'm done with the series. Like, I mean, I guess I guess this is kind of odd question to ask because we're fucking so deep into the fandom that we have a damn podcast about it. So like
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that would push us over the edge simply because we're so close in the center.
We'll just be frustrated old men about how Atlas has changed. We'll be
Yeah.
sitting there on the porch in our rocking chairs, just going, "Atlas has changed. Atlas has
remember the
changed."
remember the old days of 2014.
Yeah, well,
Let me tell you a
Persona
story
5.
about my friend Andy Dufresne. Uh, Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, it definitely need to be a gradual thing. I have no clue what the hell it would even entail. Like maybe if they just made a change to the franchise as a whole, like hey, every game's going to be an action RPG now, or hey, we're going to make every game about collecting cards, or like making it merchandise driven, or something random like that. That's the
Yeah,
only way I could see. Like if they just go completely out of left field and just take the franchise in a different direction as a whole, which they probably won't do. So you never know though. So
yeah. Anything could change.
then his third question is Metal Gear has nanomachines, History Channel has aliens. What's SMT's universal answer to every plot hole?
Um,
The Amala Network
Demons.
or demons that
Yeah,
it's either the Amala Network or demons, yeah.
demons, son.
That was the best part of Metal Gear Rising.
Yes, it was.
I think shortly after that he kicks you and there's
Yeah,
like a crowd
there's,
cheering noise out of
yeah.
nowhere.
There's a crowd cheering noise. I'm just like, are you serious right now, Platinum Games?
So
Or did Kojima tell you guys to do that?
thanks, Crisis of Fate, for the email. And also, I don't know if I thanked Eriko and Naoto Lover for their email, but thank you a lot, both of you. Anyways, this is from Yamato Takeru, and he says, since you guys are such big fans of fighting games, have you ever heard of Salty Bet?
Oh yeah, Salty Bed. I love that place.
I,
Motherfucking Dwayne.
Salty Bet is great. I love it.
Yeah.
I've known about it ever since, like, I think it was because they kept showing it at Evo. I think it was they kept showing like who was in the lead in Salty Bucks, and I'm like, what the fuck is Salty Bet? And I had assumed it was like a gambling, like a legit gambling thing for
Yeah, a
Evo.
gambling circuit. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, it's like Mugen matches. I'm like, this is hilarious. So I pop in every now and then. I don't. I think I'm in the salt mines, sadly, but and then he says, Which SMT character do you always bet on? Um, I will say not Minato because Mugen Minato is awful. Um,
Yeah,
I've never seen any other SMT characters. I've seen Minato once.
I've seen the Demi Fiend, but he got bodied.
Was it a good character or did he suck?
He just straight up sucked.
Was he like drawn in MS Paint?
Like his sprite was half decent. That was about it.
And then he says something completely unrelated, but he encourages anyone who has Fire Emblem Awakening to try and oops,
Uh-oh. Phone
phone.
call.
Yep. And then he says he encourages anyone with Fire Emblem Awakening to try and find where Gaius quotes Liam Neeson from Taken.
Oh, that's he in the Avatar C support. He goes, if you're looking for ransom, I can assure you I don't have any money. And what I do have is a very it does have he says something about honey cakes, but I can't remember what the exact words were. It was dumb. Like my unit walks in on Gaius while he's in the bath and he sees they see something that Gaius wanted to conceal. And Gaius is like, "Oh, so you're blackmailing me, huh? I'll give you all the sweets in the world if you don't tell anybody my secret."
Oh man. Then he says in
And then
reference. Oh,
and then he quotes Taken, and it's hilarious.
okay. And then he says in his previous email he meant Metatron, not Megatron. Then he says finally, he says Rasen, you should play Metal Gear Rising with the wooden sword if you haven't yet. It's a lot of fun. Um, I've actually been thinking of doing that. I occasionally do the Jetstream Sam fight with only the wooden sword just because it's fun. It takes a long time, but it's a shit ton of fun because I love that fight. Thanks Yamato Takeru. Um, so this is from a guy. I don't even want to really say his name, but he says he found our jokes during the bad fanfic episode hilarious. Would we mind reading his? So I'm just gonna have a blanket statement. If you send us fan fiction and it's your fan fiction to make fun of, we're not gonna do that because that's just kind of dumb.
Yeah,
So no thanks.
that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, like first of all, if you know your fan fiction is that bad, don't send it to us to make fun of. Just fucking delete it. Um, like I don't know. There's something about make fun of something that I want you to make fun of that just seems kind of
Yeah,
stupid, like pointless to me. Because then like it feels artificial. I don't know.
yeah.
Um, so this is from Neutral again. It's a person from DDSNet. It says, "Thanks for answering my questions last time. I hope you don't mind asking, or I hope you don't mind if I ask some more. No problem, Neutral." He says, "What character interactions do you think will go on in Persona Q? I imagine Junpei and Teddy hanging out and cracking jokes, and Naoto and Ken talking about."
Operation Babefall. I mean, wow, Operation Babefall. What the hell? Operation Babe
Oh,
Hunt.
exclusive to Xbox One.
Exclusive to Xbox One. I got Operation Rainfall and Operation Babe Hunt mixed in my head.
I assumed you were just confused because we're talking about Titanfall.
No, no, not Titanfall.
uh,
But that would have been even
Operation
hilarious.
Babefall. 6v6 only. Find your wife.
66 old. Find your wife.
The same creative
But
team
no.
behind Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Oh my god.
If you get a 10 kill streak, then Dante comes in and starts fucking shit up for you.
Yes.
Okay, I think we found the episode title. God damn.
Operation Fall. Oh yeah. But anyway.
So he Neutral says they imagine Junpei and Teddy hanging out and cracking jokes. I can see that. And Naoto and Ken talking about the Featherman series behind everyone's backs. I could see that. Additionally, are there any good MegaTen fanfics you've read? Okay, so
Nope.
I guess let's take the first question. Persona Q character interactions. Oh man, I imagine Fuka and Rise are gonna chill out a lot simply because they have to be left behind, so they probably are gonna be
Yeah.
spending a lot of time together. Um,
They're just gonna be chilling, out maxing, relaxing, all cool.
well, there's, damn it, there's the one trailer, the long trailer. I'm not sure if this was on the Persona 3 or the Persona 4 one, but it shows like Rise and Fuka like dancing around or like holding hands or something. I actually posted on the COS Twitter because it was kawaii as fuck, and I just said OTP, OTP over again. Um, yeah, I see Rise and Fuka being good friends. Actually, in the same trailer, there's a little bit where Teddy and Igus dance together. I can see Teddy
Yeah.
getting along pretty well with that. Actually, Teddy, Igus, and Koromaru, I can see making this random like trio.
3-man band.
Yeah, yeah. I can see those three getting along really well just because they're kind of outsiders. They're the strange party members.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course, like Shinji will probably just brood. Yeah.
I can see Shinji and Kanji getting into like a stupid like man
Argument.
competition.
No,
Yeah, like competition
yes.
over who's manlier or something dumb like that. Akihiko and Chie, we know definitely are going to.
OTP.
Well, if P4A didn't already have enough,
Yeah.
it's the line again everyone quotes. Oh yeah, Chie says like "Take me to your meat dimension" or some shit to
Yeah.
Akihiko. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fun stuff there. Uh, all right. So, any good Megami Tensei fan fictions we've read? Also, there's apparently one called Crevices, about SMT4 that revolves around Isabu's, or yeah, fuck, damn it, Isabeau's point of view in the story. Um, so let's see, Katsu, do you ever read any good Megami Tensei fanfics?
Nope.
The only one I can think of, and I've never been able to track it down. I've looked twice. There is one that was from the Demi-Fiend's perspective, and it was a bunch of random, I guess, like situations, and basically the Demi-Fiend coming to understand why being a demon is important or something like that, or like him accepting being the Demi-Fiend or something like that. Like there's one with a bunch of crap. What are those early in Nocturne? There's those I think they're called Zens. They're those like
Zens?
they're like those rainbow colored bird things. I think they can
Oh.
poison you. I think they're called Zens. I can't remember, but there's like a point where like a bunch of those are circling overhead, but they're too afraid to attack because he's the fucking demi fiend. He'll fuck them up. So like there's a lot of interesting stuff with that. It's kind of like a very somber look at the demi fiend's outlook on life. I enjoyed it for what it was. Other than that, not really. um, so so yeah. Thank you, Neutral. Um, I guess we'll take one more. So this is from
Okay.
Matthias, and he asks, "Hey, got two questions. How long would it take for SMD5 to come out?" And another one,
Probably another 10 years.
I'm thinking 5 because between Nocturne and Strange Journey, it was like give or take 5 years. Between 2 and Nocturne, it was give or take 5 years. Between 1 and 2, it was, I think it wasn't even that long for one, for 2 to come out after 1. But it seems like they're doing like a main series game every 5 years now. About so 4 years from
Uh,
now, about
4 years from now, we'll get some information on it, and then it will come out.
yeah. So yeah, I still wonder if they're gonna ever come out with that quote unquote Devilizer game or something. You know, that new spin-off that everyone's
Yeah.
been waiting for. Because honestly, I think it's about time we got a new spin-off. I think Devil Survivor's kind of done for now because Atlas likes to do things in twos. I think Johnny Awesome
Yeah.
did that out in a mailbag episode. Like Atlas does two styles or like two games of one style and then they move on to something new. So hopefully they figure out something with that. And then also second question, uh, do we think that Strange Journey deserves a remake for the 3DS?
Not really.
I'd be excited. I would be excited if it did, but like, it seems pretty full for what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would add. unless they added like bonus dungeons and bosses and stuff. But from what but maybe tone down the difficulty because I've heard Strange Journey has. I've heard bad things about some of the later dungeons in that game, but never know. Actually, the 3DS versions
Yeah.
of like with both Devil's Survive. Well, I guess I can't even really speak for Break Record, but it seems like for Overclocked, they really toned down the difficulty, or at least made it a little bit more balanced in terms of fairness. So I'm pretty sure Break Record is probably going to do that because some of the boss fights in that game are kind of BS towards the end there. But hopefully, if they ever remake Strange Journey, they tamper with the annoyingness of some of the later dungeons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't even really think like I don't see a reason to either, you know.
Yeah.
Then again, before Break Record was announced, I didn't see a reason for Break Record to be a thing, so who knows? Because like in my opinion, the original Devil Survivor 2 was such a complete experience. I didn't know what the fuck they would add, and then they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna have a second story mode," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Oh,
sure."
okay.
Uh,
Do what you want.
yeah, don't listen to me, Atlas. Just continue making stuff. So, oh man. Also,
But if they do release an enhanced port of Strange Journey, we know it's going to be a good game.
yeah,
They won't half-ass it.
definitely. I think without failure, the re-releases of every SMT game have almost always been better and never worse. I guess you could argue that the GBA version of SMT1's a little crappier than the PS1 version, but that's kind of understandable given the hardware. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, you know something I wanted to bring up real quick is I learned this recently, and I didn't really think of it before. The iPhone version of SMT1 has a compendium because the GBA version had a compendium, and that makes me
Yeah.
really excited because that will make the game a lot less tedious to get through.
Yeah. Superior version confirmed.
Oh man, I'm so excited for that game to come out. I think it's coming out on the 18th. Or wait, no. Yeah, I think it's March 18th that game comes out.
Ah, same day as Final Fantasy X HD.
Actually, wait, hold on. Let me. Oh no, 17th. Wait, no. Oh
Speaking
no, no,
of
never mind 18th. I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
speaking of Final Fantasy X HD, are you getting it?
Later.
I'm getting it.
I something I decided is I think I'm just gonna splurge and get JoJo All Star Battle and then not buy much for a while, except for like Quantum Devil Saga when that comes out this summer, just because I want to save up money. Like Final Fantasy X and Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, I really want to get because I love those. Well, I guess Tales of Symphonia I want to try out, but I really love Final Fantasy X, but it's like, I can wait a little bit for those. So
Yeah, you can get the individual Tales of Symphonia off PSN. They split it up into separate games. You can just buy Tales of Symphonia straight up and ignore the crappy sequel.
I've heard mixed things about that sequel.
The sequel's garbage. I don't care what anyone says. That game is garbage.
Can it be? Can it be worse than Tales of the Tempest?
No, it's better than Tales of Tempest. Tales of Tempest is like a new. It's like a. We need a new word to describe how bad that game is, and I don't think the human race is capable of describing a new word
What
for
I'm
it yet.
confused is, isn't that game like 10 hours long?
Yeah, it's 10 hours long.
I have a feeling we should let's play that at some point and just make fun of it the entire way through. Or is it too bad that we couldn't even do that?
It's so terrible that you want to quit the game.
Because I feel like there's a lot of potential there, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I shouldn't be speaking of let's play projects when we're still in the planning stage of fucking Shin Megami Tensei 1. So I'm gonna shut up now and not even reference that because I don't know. It's fun making fun of bad things. I'll just say that. That's why the fan fiction episodes of COS exist. Um, oh man, Tales of the Tempest. I think that covers it. We're done here.
All right.
Bye everyone. You study for that COS quiz.
Yes.
Remember to go vote for the SMT 1 LP naming poll. And yeah, thanks Matthias for the email. Then I guess we're just gonna close out the episode. See you guys. Hold on, Rasen from the past. We ain't fucking done yet. So
Yeah.
so after we recorded this damn episode, news broke out, and since we're still in the editing phase, I decided that, well, I guess it was Katsu's idea. Give him credit for this. Um, News broke out, and Katsu decided that we should just record this little bit after the episode and add it in. So, um, Persona 2 Innocent Sin has been exploited. Now, I don't here, do you want to try explaining this, because I'm not a Vita owner and I guess I just don't know the OS as well. So
So, pretty much some hackers found an exploit involving Persona 2 Innocent Sin for the PSP, which is pretty much a jailbreak on the Vita that unlocks all of its PSP capabilities, quick essentially making it a hacked PSP that can play Vita games and run PSP apps like Remote Joy Light
and also not only that, but
ISO
I'm assuming
yeah, and
it just
ISO loaders.
yeah, I'm assuming it just allows for homebrew software in general too. So
Yeah.
like it
So
just opens up the
yeah.
device. So you might be thinking, oh, it's just news about a hack. Well, actually, this is kind of bad for Persona 2 Innocent Sin, because there have been other games where this has happened to, where an exploit was found. Um,
Happened to
Specifically,
Patapon.
oh, it did. Uh,
Yeah.
the ones I found, apparently the first time it happened was with a motocross game, and then eventually it happened across all of the Monster Hunter games.
Yeah.
So what Sony does is, this is, I guess, I don't know. I think this is kind of stupid, because your device is going to get hacked anyways eventually, and I think like companies, like, I know it's to reduce piracy, but I think companies need to stop spending like their time and effort on this type of exploitation and just focus on making their stuff. But basically, what Sony does is, whenever an exploit comes out for one of these games, they remove it from the PSN store until the exploit is able to be patched out. Persona 2 Innocent Sin, as of this recording, is still up. By the time this goes up, we're not sure if it's still going to be up, but hopefully it is, so you guys can get it before it goes down. But basically, get Innocent Sin now if you were thinking about it, or if you're on the edge, or make
Yeah,
sure it's downloaded.
It's $5. So go on and grab it.
Exactly. So we're gonna see what happens with that. I'm assuming it'll be down for a little while until it gets patched back up. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sure Atlas is pissed right now. So,
Atlas is probably pissed the fuck off right now.
hackers are stupid. So, actually,
Yeah.
I remember someone commented on a video once. Apparently, there is a Vita hacker that's kind of infamous for putting stuff out, and his name is Katsu.
Oh man, people are gonna think I did.
Katsu, why did you kill Innocent Sin?
I didn't mean to.
Doppelganger. Okay, so yeah, I think that's about it. But
Okay, bye.
bye for real this time.
Yeah, bye Katsu of the past.
Bye past Rasen. Oh, I remember those glorious times 5 hours ago. Not even.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Gather demons and come again.